Oh my gosh, that was a hot chase from the other side of the map all the way till here. Movement was insane coming from this guy.
Oh yeah. Gotta respect Falcons this time, hungry for those points. They obviously wanted a better run in the earlier game, did not find it for themselves. Got kicked out of the lobby with just 10 points on their side. Very aggressive game one for Falcons. 7 eliminations, but only 3 placement points. You just have to make sure the same mistake is not made here on Solara. But so far, so good. You see the coins on their side absolutely stacked up. And TEC, one of the favorites from Bangladesh, alive and kicking with a ton of elimination points already on their side in the Solara game.
Oh man, Barrow's putting a damage on the top 16.
GG. That's
Takes
it.
a lot of damage, almost getting knocked down here, but moves around the area, cannot survive, and knocked out as well.
Yeah, Barros, great play on the 1v1. Thrill of battle popped in a timely manner, locking him down. And a swift elimination right after. AGL on the prowl, looking for some extra points. But Cypher's gonna get caught out here. Jazzy Aswap and the smooth criminal Cypher quickly getting away. Barros looking for the backup and the bait and switch. Barros now holding back. Jazzy taken out of the equation. Barros, you monster!
That's the biggest no I've ever seen in my life, and Cypher is the one to turn things around there. Aswap down and out. Gonna try and see where exactly can go in this situation. Coming in terms of rotations here, a lot of players already inside of the zone, mid-side area. I'm really curious. I'm seeing AGL and Loud there.
AGL, again, this is their third EWC. Just like Buriram, perhaps third time's the charm. David 444 taken out early here. This is one of the prime players out of Gun Dynasty. And Buriram hunting them down one after the other. You messed around with us in the previous game. We could not get to the Booyah. And this time, we will take you out of the lobby early. Buriram says, but can we see a recovery again? Benel, the super savior of Gun Dynasty, keeping them in the race.
Honestly, getting that pickup right as the glue wall goes down is just diabolical. Now, the zone has shifted a little bit more here, and in this situation, most players are already coming back into the game.
Man, but now, what in the world? This guy...
He has most revivals.
Yeah, he's definitely got the most revivals so far. And it is absolutely brilliant to see him pull off these amazing saves in such an insane lobby on a stage like this. I wonder how is he managing to get things done, and how is he having so many coins on his side? We got to check that out later. He was divine though, through eliminations. Aggressive start this time around, but they want more. DRS up against Falcons. They had a phenomenal run in game one, and Falcons are trying to deny them of that in this game too. Pina down already. Strowex, fantastic shot. He eliminates Pina from the equation, but no glue wall, but the time turner on his side allows him a quick recovery. K98 in hand. Anybody that takes the slide rails up against Alu might be in a tad bit of trouble, but Falcons not going to make that mistake just yet.
Doing a due diligence here, dotting their I, crossing their T's as well. And I think DRS is doing, I think, fairly wise to just really back away from this fight.
Yeah.
Now, for Falcons, they brought back Pina into the game. That's more firepower once again on their side here. The southern side here, DP and AGL looks very interesting right now.
Falcons understanding that Alu would probably pop their heads if they took the slide rail, trying to just cut the distance down with the vehicles. On the other side, even Spry, top 16, tagged up already. That Moko giving away his position, and it's too easy for Dew to go in for the follow-up. Super Sniper turned Russia in the situation, connected with the electrotherapy. This is the result of too many clash squads.
And in this situation as well, I think everyone is just sort of like kind of moving away on that western side here, just trying to find a way into the zone, making sure that they don't get sniped out as they take that slide rails. We saw so many of that happening way too soon. Well, it is fun for us viewers to see it, but for them, it's probably a very, I would say, high-stakes, heart-attack situation.
The Clash Masters competitions have forced the snipers to play a closer range battle, which means more shotguns, more SMGs, and it is having its results shown beautifully on the Battle Royale scene. And that's just going to be making these snipers so much more deadlier. Long range, short range. They're now becoming all-rounders. But this next circle, though, looking deadly. Falcon scanning out the area of Team Apex. Sahil Jad gets caught in the binocular scan. Pina Racha not waiting. They sustain some shots, but they're going straight in for the elimination. And a four-man scan here, potentially by the White Tigers. EWOS Divine and a double scan. Probably Aurora as well as Loud. EWOS in trouble, as two teams have got the information on them. Team Apex Gaming, on the other hand, already scanned out by the Falcon squad earlier on, but Falcons are the ones who are in a tad bit more trouble.
Ooh, nice shot.
Sahiljat looking for the revival, pulls Shoto back into the race, but he sacrifices himself in the same run.
I mean, what can you do? Just really survive longer here.
That's it. Katie God in trouble. Out of the pen, into the fire. Running straight. Oh! EWOS Divine does not spot him out.
I don't know.
This could just be that survival play, but Tech is right behind him, so this is going to be a tad bit difficult. GG, bro. I don't know if or not that was super intentional, but Katie God now clipped on by the Thriller Battle, has got no way to use his active skill. But EWOS Divine not making the mistake of looking for one extra point and potentially sacrificing two of their players. They know the players of TEC is right there beside them. So moving to find an extra point might put them in a little bit of trouble, and the veteran experience of EWOS Divine keeping them alive and kicking. But the Rail Soldiers hopping on in as well. This is about to become a rough three-way battle.
Yeah, coming through here as well. You see Katie got finally knocked down as well. As TEC, their compound is being taken away. DRS gonna try to really hunker down here in the situation. Maybe wait out those fights, or hoping for an opening to either go in for the fight or just go for a tactical retreat.
Yeah, playing on the meta, the AWM, the VSKs, they've got the long-range weapons perfect for Solara. And I will not doubt those M590s are on standby for the pop as well. Great rotation by EWOS Divine, avoiding the initial engagement with DRS. And just taking the position right below the players of Titan Esports Club. This means Bangladesh is going to have a rough time to get out of their spot, but thankfully the circle's still with them. The next zone is going to be crucial to see which teams get caught out here on the rotation. There is a high chance it moves towards the conglomeration of the three squads here. EWOS Divine, TEC as well as DRS.
DRS, you're being very, very patient, but the problem is right now you go toward EWOS, there's a potential of getting knocked out by TEC from that top side of the building as well.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a situation where you guys have to wait out things.
Nice play, and now it's just all-out annihilation. Messy, as multiple teams are so close to each other. Gun Dynasty does not manage the ambush, but Demon's Pride are swapped too low. And the final bullet by Vega takes him out of the equation. David's picked right back up, and again Gun Dynasty's gonna be a bit of a troublemaker in the final circle.
Now the wait happens here, as we already see that for Aurora surviving a little bit longer this time, and they want to go for this fight against GD. In front of them, they already got it at one pickoff here. Aurora doing very well, fighting the players of GD, but they still have 3 more members to worry about on the other side.
Yeah, to snuff out Gun Dynasty, you gotta take Benel out of the equation, because that man is a miracle worker for these revives. Somehow, he always brings the rest of the team members back in, but without him, they're gonna crumble one after the other. Vega taken out of the equation as well, and it looks like Gun Dynasty, that's the end for them. Aurora and Loud, this is gonna be a rough rotation for them, as everybody else has hopped on in. As anticipated earlier on, the next circle finds EWOS, TEC as well as DRS, but now they've got one extra contender. AGAL have found safe haven here in the next circle already. Teams like Falcons, Loud, Burirap, Aurora, they're gonna have to battle it out before stepping into the next zone.
And it is annoying and a very rough area here to the side here. Guangsa does fight one, and here comes the nades as well. The reposition is good. Trap doing huge damage onto the members of Buram United.
One more, baby. And that's just gonna keep them at bay. Get High Excel looking for the pickup onto Asana, but now outside the zone. He has the electrotherapy though, and that keeps his buddy alive and kicking.
No way.
AGAL on the other hand, annihilate DRS Gaming. Finally, DRS had stayed in there for long enough. They were keeping an eye on EWOS, and AGAL with the backstab took advantage of that situation. Asana's gonna get snuffed out as well. And it looks like Buriram again not gonna have a fantastic run at the start of our Esports World Cup. Third run, Team Falcons out. The Thai squad dropping like flies one after the other. But AJL looking to represent The nation absolutely strong as they look for a big battle up against Loud potentially right after this.
Yeah, Team Wiper already as well for Aurora. They've already been eliminated here as for the White Tigers trying to find a way to move away from this area. TEC is being so annoying, pressuring them from that top side, not able to move. And they have made a nice ability to climb over and take this fight face to face.
Yes, that way to heaven, but who goes to heaven? Is it going to be you guys or TEC right above? And smart play by EWC here. They don't quickly rush on up. They understand that AJL is holding on to a prime position right behind them. And they do have the advantage with the move off the circle. AJL will have to keep an eye on Loud. And TEC, they don't need to do much with that high ground. They just need to play fishing here. They do have a prime spot and a big advantage in terms of how the circle is now going to move.
AGL looking really good just now. They move away in the air. And Raja's big opening to do is going to put a spanner in the works for AGAL. Evo forced out here, takes the fight to Loud.
Shooting the feed. Russia, sneaky play, has got the stealth fights of the boss as well. But this is going to be a rough one for Russia if he cannot quickly catch up to the rest of his team members, and great placements of glue walls with the extra assistance of the stealth fights. EWC are the first ones to make that move. TEC going to be holding back and Loud in a lot of trouble up against EWC as well as TEC, but they've got the double vehicles on their side for the quick reposition. Now this is where Russia can be troublesome as he quickly shoots at those vehicles, lighting them up.
Yeah, that's the repositioning going to be taken away from them. And now Loud is standing in the corner. What a shot coming in from Russia. Traded out though by Guangzhou. But Ray, nice damage onto Sci-Fi as well. Taking two fights at the same time.
Oh, AGL and Ray with the coordinates, hitting a triple, saving AGL for the time being. TEC were doing a number on them, but he was just ruining the party of Bangladesh right there and then. Ray with the final nade onto Kutush. The pickups were solid, and now the battle between EWC and Loud. They take the fight straight up. They understand that they are going to be a problem. Aim gone to the M590. Valiant Dash already used up, and he finds BZB from around the blue wall, looking for another. Annihilates BZB first, and EWC Divine looking strong for the Booyah.
He's looking so good right now. Have 15 eliminations already. Guangzhou and Nix already knocked out of the game. Loud with only one member still alive. What are you going to do here as AGL Nameless still managing to steal away one more elim? Titan Esports Club now down for the count as EWC, they know exactly where Nameless is. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do here? A triple man push, but there's still one more player Cloud to worry about.
Amazing run from Titan Esports Club. But Aim God now looking to clean up house. Nameless found. Thriller battle pop. Nameless has no chance. And they all gang up upon him. Playing the game of numbers. Looking for the final Loud player out there. No back-to-back Booyah for Brazil. EWC Divine, the reigning defending champions, will say. And the wonder kid Russia does it again with a final elimination.
Russia putting in the damage and pressure to every single one of these teams. EWC have been so proactive with these early fights, maintaining the aggression all the way till that last final fight.
This is what you want to see from your reigning defending champs, not taking it lying down, but rising up to the occasion and showing everyone, not just rotations, but mechanically they're still sound. And yes, questions have been asked. What is going to happen to EWC? Because after winning the Esports World Cup last year, they have been dormant. They have just been hibernating. They have not been a massive threat in any of the competitions that they hopped on into. But this is not that same EWC Divine. They are rising up to the occasion, and they want to prove that the White Tigers are not here to play. They are here to annihilate. Look at these nades, man. I mean, they were a flurry that instantly snuffed out the chances of Titan Esports Club.
You know what's really interesting? In so many interviews, they said, what is our secret weapon? It was Russia. And he did. We saw that pressure coming in from him. But Ray as well is putting in and showing us why exactly he's also part of the team.
You know, a big problem that I had with the EWC Divine run in 2025 is that without Russia, I think they would have lost out in many of those lobbies. Just like what Benel is doing for the side of the players of Gun Dynasty. We saw Russia being the backup player, the sniper that continuously revived the rest of his team members. But this time, they are not putting the responsibility on the shoulder of their super sniper. They are all playing their role. I think the rotations are so much more tighter. The teamwork is looking solid. And I feel like it was not like any of those players were bad. It's just that strategically, they were trying out a flavor that perhaps did not favor them, and it required multiple clutches from Russia. This time, if they continue this run, they don't need Russia to clutch it out. They are going to annihilate everyone.
Yeah, it's always important to talk about like how each player is individually important, right? Right now, match standings look so good. He falls with 41 points, matching up with Loud Sneakers so quickly as well. We've only seen 2 maps.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great equalizer here from EWC. But again, shout out to DRS Gaming, the Rail Soldier, showing us that when you give a underdog team a opportunity on a stage like this, they will not let it go that easy. They're keeping up with the pressure that the competition brings, and they are delivering on every bit of expectation from the Nepalese fans. But here on the second page, you see there's a small little problem. India definitely has got one of the biggest crowds in terms of fan base, but they're not doing too well just yet. Now we've got Carol with the players here. Let's see exactly what the interview has for us. Tash and I will be right back with you.
Hello guys, Carol Bombshell here, pleasure to be here, and especially with Trap, team's captain for Loud. Okay, Trap, você começou o dia já, o time da Loud já começou o dia com buia, e especialmente com a Buriram no top 4. Como a confiança de você está nesse momento? Vocês ainda conseguiram chegar no segundo lugar nessa última partida? Você acha que isso tem sido importante para o time de vocês?
Acho que a confiança nossa está lá em cima, de acordo com os resultados que vêm durante alguns meses. Estamos evoluindo a cada dia, a gente quer muito representar o Brasil bem nesse Mundial. Já começamos muito bem, um top 1 e um top 2. É isso, estamos amassando, é manter mais 4 quedinhas aí pra cima.
Yes, of course. Starting the championship, started EWC 2026 with Abuya was very important for us. Our confidence and our security, it's way above. And right now, to get Abuya in a second place, we feel like we are in the right path and to reach the finals. O time de vocês, o time da Loud, vocês conseguiram ter uma boa performance durante o Campeonato Brasileiro? Você acha que vocês estão no caminho certo para voltar a colocar a Loud no topo? Para de fato vocês voltarem a ser os reis do Free Fire no Brasil?
A gente veio para isso, a gente voltou para fazer a Loud ser campeã mundial, que é o objetivo da Loud e o nosso. E a gente voltou para colocar a Loud no topo, assim como nós também queremos ficar no topo.
Yes, of course. Performing that well in Brazil brings us such great confidence, and we are here for that. We are here to bring the old Loud that you guys haven't seen before, and right now we are gonna put Loud for sure on the top again, but not only in Brazil, in the world, and that's why we are here at EWC 2026. For us to finish our interview, I would like to ask, vocês terminaram o Mundial de Free Fire no top 5, né, no ano passado. Quão importante foi isso para vocês? Jogarem internacionalmente, obviamente que vocês estavam em outro time, mas você acha que esse resultado de um top 5 trouxe mais confiança para vocês performarem agora aqui no EWC 2026?
Com certeza, assim como no Campeonato Brasileiro que a gente joga, a gente sempre joga um campeonato e quando ele acaba e o desempenho não é tão bom, eu sempre solto uma frase que eu falo com o Joker, eu falo, mano, aqui nós aprendemos a jogar esse campeonato, a partir de agora nós só vai desempenhar bem, e eu acho que foi o que aconteceu no último Mundial. Quando ele acabou, em vez de mim ficar triste e de cabeça baixa, eu falei, a partir de agora o nosso time aprendeu como jogar um Mundial.
Wow, that's very special. Okay, so reach the Free Fire World Series finals last year in the top 5 gave us such a great and important understanding in what we should do in Free Fire right now. And I told my coach, okay, so right now we are learning even more to play Free Fire. We are in the right path, and I think we are more than prepared to take the world right now, and that's exactly what we came to do here at EWC. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the next match. Make the L. And I'm back to you guys at the studio.
না 1 মিনিট মনে হয়
1 মিনিট Yeah.
Reach your
EVO's so exposed, Falcons can ruin it.
Unbelievable.
Falcons!
What we are seeing in front of us here right now. And the team to end it, Russia, with the final elimination. The Wonder Kid gets the job done.
Just thinking about we're gonna lift the trophy together. I don't know. I don't think that much when that moment. That was my first international game, so that was quite easy for me to get the MVP, and yeah, very lovely.
What made them strong in 2025 was the wonder kid called Russia. You know, he's been in the circuit for many years, and for many years he could not play on a stage like this because he was underage, their best sniper. And I think that was their secret sauce to success. If you look at him, he is the most humble kid you'll ever come across. You know, bright eyes. He never ever underestimates anyone. I think the most important thing is he wants to prove himself out there as well. And the moment he got the opportunity to do that, he did exactly that.
Esports, this is the time to
I'm
shine!
cool.
Sergeant, Apoya!
They
No, I
care
think
about
I
the
feel so
camera.
confident. We're training so hard in Indonesia, so
we খেলা
we're
ভাই
very confident
কি
to
মার
lift the
মারে
trophy
ভাই
again.
খেলা দেওয়া হয়নি
21 elimination from the champions of Clash Squad and still on the roll. And Evo's being taken down.
Ya setelah di EWC kemarin kita sudah tidak mendapatkan piala-piala lagi, kita tidak bisa ngejuarain turnamen-turnamen berikutnya mungkin karena kita udah lupa siapa kita sebenarnya. Tetapi di hari ini kita sudah ingat siapa diri kita sebenarnya.
If you look at the data, it says they will not be the back-to-back champions. If you look at the kids and if you look at how determined they are to be back-to-back champions, there's a slight possibility. But it's going to be difficult because for the first time ever on the global stage, we've got 24 teams. Everybody's got that exact same dream. Because that dream is alive for the rest, the chances of EVOS Divine doing it back-to-back may be a little lower.
Kalau untuk tim-tim lain sih, kalau buat saya sendiri saya tidak perlu memikirkan banyak hal tentang tim-tim lain karena itu saya sudah percaya kepada coach saya. Jadi saya tinggal fokus aja main. Nah itu yang terbaik pokoknya. Pesan-pesan untuk tim-tim lain ya hati-hatilah karena ini EWC bukan turnamen yang lain. Kalian bisa lihat sejarah-sejarah kita di turnamen EWC kemarin. Nah itu dia kalian hati-hati aja yang ngegangguin drop zone kita.
For anybody that was wondering how EVO's Divine was gonna start Free Fire at EWC 26, boy did we get an answer because they came in hot. By the way, yes, you saw one more person added to this amazing panel that we have, and it's none other than Lace. But Lace, I'm actually not gonna start with you just yet.
I just want to talk to me.
Sorry, because I want to talk about EVOS. And you were wondering how they were gonna be doing. All of us were wondering how they were gonna be doing. They're doing pretty damn good.
They're doing pretty well. I'm kind of relieved actually because EVOS had so many close calls throughout the whole entire first game and it got me worrying. Not something that I want to see obviously, but at least they slowly climbing the elimination points ladder and they fixed what could be perfected on the first game because hey, come the second game, they know exactly what they need to do and we see Russia obviously as a pivot sniper. He's gonna need more room for him to do dynamic movements and that's exactly what the support gave them. So yeah, it works well for them. EVOS is finally finding the rhythm that they kind of lost the first time. Again, maybe opening game, of course, the nerve is something that maybe we cannot explain. It's something that's always difficult, always hard for anyone at the EWC.
Yeah, they've got that pressure on their shoulders, you know what I mean? They're like, oh no, we've won, we've got to do it again. So like that's got to add on top of this as well. And I guess we saw that in their games too.
Yeah, but now leading the standing with 41 total points and 23 elimination points. I mean, that is crazy. Even you have to admit that.
I mean, it's amazing. Not gonna lie. Seeing the players just chilling back there after getting that booyah and then looking at the keys, they're probably wondering which keys are we gonna be crushing now. But talking about teams that might be possibly crushing some keys, we gotta talk about Loud because my goodness, Loud was another team that started off hot. You could say the first win was a bit given, but boy, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, coming from the position we're in heat, they're not really found in the map.
I'm really looking forward to how they're going to adapt right now. They were trying to do the similar approach on that game number 2, but it's just unfortunate that EWC is the one who cut them off on the rotation. Just hanging in the middle of that final circle is one thing that Loud has been doing for the first 2 games, but it's just unfortunate that rotation was not favoring them, and even Launchpad was not on them in that final moment. So it was tough for them to make that rotation.
It definitely was. One thing, I mean, we've been seeing some of these squads now being able to perform well, right? Evo's, Loud out of Brazil. Earlier you were talking about Rhythm, Conchita. I mean, Loud definitely is finding that rhythm. One team that is currently not finding their rhythm, though, Lace, is none other than Falcons.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about that pressure, and they've got the pressure of the club championships on their shoulders. So, you know, amounts of other Falcons, you know, in different games coming through. So, of course, you know, they're sitting in that kind of middle of the pack at the moment. They are trying to find those eliminations early on. There was actually a moment in the second match where we saw Team Falcons hunting down Team Tag. They were able to take 2 lives from the team, and they're like, no revivals for you guys, and we just saw them sort of launch over to where Tag was trying to recover the rest of the team and try and get those early eliminations. So, you know, I think they're sitting about, what, 6th place, 27. It's nothing, you know, at the top with those 41 sorts of points there, but look, they have shown the same kind of consistency that they had, you know, in these previous global series that they had. Sometimes they do incredibly well. Sometimes they choke and aren't flying like a Falcon should, but look, don't take your eyes off Team Falcons, guys, because they are capitalizing on those early eliminations, which are putting those points on the boards, and, you know, they're just looking for that booyah.
Yeah,
they're looking for that later on.
Let's see if they're going to end up getting it, because I'm looking at number 4 here. Gundy Nasty. I mean, 32 points, that's not bad either.
Yes, Gun Dynasty, that first game was definitely something. I did not expect them to do so well. I mean, they have been consistently showing amazing strength and courage and the skill to back it up. So I am just at awe at how amazing Gun Dynasty is performing at the very first game. And sitting at 4th with 23 elimination points surely isn't bad. But I also kind of want to talk about Buriram, AGAL. It's like they're not fully being themselves. I don't know what is happening actually, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from what we've seen in AGAL and Buriram, they're trying their best to study their opponents just yet. Again, it's some of the teams are in here quite fresh. I haven't met them in Southeast Asia or some of the global tournaments they have. So they need a little bit of time to study their opponents. And that's what they're doing for most part of the game. First half was just silent, and then towards the end, that's where they tried to put in a little pressure. But at some point, there's still a lot of teams surviving towards that final circle. So third party is Buriram United once week.
Yeah, I agree, because when I see Buriram United, it's like they're trying so hard to match the Brazil's gameplay, but somehow it bite them back in the process. So it's definitely something that we want to see from Buriram, either from AGAL.
Yeah, and I was talking to Lucifer, actually, one of the casters that you'll be able to see later on today, and I was asking him about Tag. You guys were mentioning Tag, how they're just currently not performing too. This squad, he was telling me that this squad tends to start slow, but they picked it up on the second day. Now, earlier, let's rewind it back. You were talking about consistency, right? That's not the consistency that we want to see out of these teams. So now that we got 2 matches done today, we got 4 matches left for this Group A. What are your expectations for Tag?
Actually, my expectation is that they could somehow learn from the mistakes, obviously, because the first 2 games, boy, oh boy, they were a little all over the place, if I can say that. I'm really sorry again.
It's okay, it's our job.
I always feel bad to say that, because I really want them to do well. I mean, obviously they have quite a name, that a reputation they need to upkeep. So this is just something that I feel very sad about seeing from them. I just hope that they can bounce back and do better.
Well, we'll have to see, though, because judging from that story, if you really need plenty of time, and we're only talking about, what, 4 days overall, then you'll be lost already the first. And you don't want to be in the bottom 2 of that leaderboard, because true enough, after 2 days, you'll be out.
You'll definitely be out. And you know what? I want you, Lace, to put in your coach mentality. If you're looking at BP from Pakistan, I mean, this squad, a lot of people expected them to do well, especially all the crowd from Pakistan. Right now, they're in last place. If you're the coach, what are you going to go over there and tell them?
I'm telling you to get a boo freaking young. That's what I'm saying.
I can tell.
What I'm saying.
I can tell that there's something Lace really want to tell them, but she can't say it on camera.
I gotta be broadcast friendly here, okay? Let me let like the Australian out, please, guys. Let me let it loose. But look, those teams, and this is what we talk about when you say, you know, the mental capabilities of these teams. When you sit at that lower of the leaderboard, it is hard to sort of pick it back up and get to those sorts of spots with our AGLs and even like our GDs and stuff like that. It's going to be a little bit of a trek, but obviously 4 matches. Purgatory's next.
Yeah.
I heard Neptune say it. This is heaven or hell. So can they maybe get the heaven than Purgatory?
Okay, Purgatory coming up. What are we expecting, Neptune?
I know. I'm hoping for a skewed like that and a rough circle. Sorry for the teams out there. I know you want to get it easy right now, but I should be asking for the other one, for the reverse, because what I did to Aurora right there was just definitely jinxed them.
I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself, okay? We got 2 more matches coming up before you probably end up seeing us. Overall, 4 more matches here for Group A. Would you like to change your pick from Aurora?
Oh my god.
I gotta give him a chance.
I'm scared for you, really.
Would you like to curse any other team, sir?
Actually, I don't want to curse any teams anymore. Because it's very, getting very dangerous right now. Like, this is a big stage. And if I'm being blamed of them not getting into the next stage, so I don't know. But I'm still cheering on for Aurora. Hopefully, this time it's just a first game jinx. And then the rest will be quite well. Because even in game 2, like, we've seen them perform well. So, first stage jitters or first game jitters, that's what they might have felt, but yeah, let's see if they can get that booyah.
That's exactly
I see you
what
smiling on it. She's like,
yeah, I mean, I've been talking about the first day. It's always unpredictable, right? Because of the jitters, the nervousness, the pressure that they have. But yeah, going into the third and the fourth game, I think a lot of things needed to change. And Purgatory is actually a map that is a little forgiving on that. It's a great place for a reset. So I'm just so excited to see what the teams are going to bring.
And we have seen some of the other squads, right? Especially going back to the first game, AG. AG did great. I mean, this is one squad that you guys were picking as a surprise to be able to do good here. Boy, did they surprise us in the first game.
Yeah, one thing that is personality of AG is trying to keep away from all those engagement.
Yeah.
If they can bathe onto like outside of the circle on the 3rd, 4th phase of that map, then they will do so. And even with the team booster that we have, out of zone buff that is available, say they will be able to soak up in there, just get their position. They do really need that time to get information as a sniper as a squad, and also the launch pad. That's the angle that we need to take right there was just difficult, especially if you have 6 or 7 teams remaining on 4th to 5th phase of the circle.
So what you're saying, we're seeing AGL probably follow their same format coming out of match 1 because, like, you know, they did land uncontested in like our first map, and then they, you know, GD that we saw, who was just an absolute heavy hitter, they were kind of like sneaking on down to AGL, and AGL's like, no, we need a little bit of space. So that's what you're saying. Match number 3, they're going to need their space, and then that's where they fly.
Okay, you know what? You got lucky because I was going to have you pick a team, and I was going to see if you would end up cursing a team, but I'm being told Game 3 is ready, so why not? Let's send it to AJ and Tash, and maybe they'll be willing to curse a team or encourage them.
Yeah, thanks, Seven. You know what? I don't think we're going to be cursing any squads. In fact, we are going to be blessing them with a little bit of extra luck out there. You know, in the first 2 games, we did see consistency from the reigning defending champions, EVOS Divine, as well as the Brazilian squad, Loud. But there are a couple of teams down at the bottom. I'm hoping to see more from this time round. I think that the panel called them out earlier. Tag, Team Apex Gaming. The Indian squad hasn't really been having a smooth run out there. But Purgatory is a huge map. Tons of compounds out there. You can play avoidance of majority of these initial engagements. And this could just be the kind of break the Tag needs. But that is going to be purely dependent on if or not they're going to be able to avoid the early hot drops.
Yeah, I really want to also say that some teams take a while to really heat up, right?
Yeah.
Especially since today and tomorrow, they have a little bit of a leeway to just really find their footing. I think, you know, like what Conchita just said, they're nervous, they're a little bit more, I would say, pressured. But now as you go to third map, now things just ease up.
Absolutely. And again, Team Apex Gaming in a little bit of a pickle. They've got two monsters right beside them. One from LATAM. Gun Dynasty has been cooking the squads that they come across in the early parts of the game so far. They've got the Dinoculus used up already, scanning out multiple players. Falcons scanning the area as well. On fire and Racha just at the perimeter looking to play third party. And perhaps this is that one big blessing that Team Apex Gaming is going to get from this equation. Maybe having Falcons a little bit closer to Gun Dynasty will give them an advantage to survive this initial battle.
Yeah, Dio already brought back into the game quickly. Shoto barely alive.
Tax out?
Live, yeah. Oh, man.
How? How in the world did we lose Titan Esports Club before even hopping on into the game here? Unbelievable. 19 points, and they do not have anything from this game. But Gun Dynasty, on the other hand, they're going to go in here for the annihilation. But now, punishing KD God and the super survivor, super reviver of the Gun Dynasty squad, looking for more. Will miss Shoto. Breaks it on in with the Valiant Dash, catching up with him, taking Banal out with the max.
Yeah, and he was the guy that's responsible to bring the team back into the game, and now he has to be brought in here. Now Tag has an idea where exactly everyone is. Revoz decides to join in on the fight as well. Still waiting in the wings for the right, I think, opening, just really join in, but now on fire, finding Wolfin already, and this offensive by Rasha could be nasty for the Falcons players.
Team Apex Gaming, all the blessings in the world. See, I told you, panel, we were going to bless them, not curse them. With all the blessings in the world, they get to avoid the initial encounter. We thought Falcons was going to be a little bit of a problem to deal with, but the White Tigers have dropped on in to say hello. You turning the table on them. Ain't got taken out of the equation already. Apex, the electrotherapy is on connection, but unfortunately for the rest of the Falcons players, they will not be able to get out of this pinch. Shoto now tossing in the grenade. Can he find more? And it's just gonna be the ice grenade that gives him a little bit of an advantage here. What a knock on the Ray! Shoto, Team Apex Gaming not running away, staying and taking the fight straight to them.
And it started off with Tag with the ones that's on the lower of
Shoto!
But Shoto putting the damage here. Racha moving away! And movement coming in. Racha cannot run away with his life.
Yeah, Chuck the India, baby. Shailjato though, knocked down. Shiru fighting him from across. Can they get more? Gun Dynasty trying to take a little bit of a revenge here onto Team Apex Gaming. Two players out of the equation already, but on the other side of things, TC, it was the battle up against Paradox earlier, and Windy did a number on them, connected with the electrotherapy, was down, almost taken out, but he got the triple on them to knock them out of the lobby early.
That is almost surgical when you think about it, how they're moving around together as a team. Meanwhile, Tag already on 6 eliminations here. Wolf is now back into the game. All eyes are on GD here, as Falcons as well is in trouble. There we go, Pina now out.
Shout out to production. I love the fact that they caught us up with what happened to TEC in the earlier parts of the game, and it's great to see Africa stepping up their gameplay out there. But Team Apex Gaming, talk a little bit about some step up out there, baby. 7 eliminations already, and they're looking for more. Boot it up, finding the players on the side of DP. Madara, straight down to the ground, taken out of the equation already. Get high, and Moshi looking for more. Top 16 though, has got the vending machine right behind him, but does he have the coins to bring back his buddies?
Now in this situation here, Jonas was barely alive, trying to stay here. But even then, look at his rotations. I think that for DP, the easiest way to move around this is just really stay alive and move away from the area.
Okay, to answer my own question, he did not have enough coins. It's not going to be brought right back in. But the stealth bites helps him to reposition, catching up with Aswal. The players now looking to find a little bit of a reset. You will find Paradox sniping down, snipe himself. Pun not intended. Windy gonna get the wind knocked out of him. Pun definitely intended. And AGAL getting a number down on them. Paradox, can he continue to survive? And Benel is up to it again, continuously reviving the rest of his team members. He's pulling a Russia on the rest of the world here for the LATAM squad.
You know, I really am curious, like toward the end of this tournament, how many Benel would have, revived, and would it be a world record to see how many he would be able to do so? Now, the rest of GD also back into the game as well. Look at this middle side of the map here. That's like, what, 4 teams hanging around there? Grum United, PDX, Aurora, even DRS somewhere close by, DP, AGAL. It's
Ezreal?
cluster of fights.
Man, Ezreal, wrong move there, but that was desperation.
oraya George
Forced
hadi
were
oyunu
up against
yıkılır.
2 players, jumped on into the vehicle, but the VSK snaps him right out of it. And Aurora in a pinch, but maybe the interference of Buriram can help the Malaysian squad here. Alu now focusing on the players on the side of Buriram. Electrotherapy connected to the rest of his buddies, but if Alu gets taken out early here, DRS is going to be in a little bit of a pinch without their support player. But Prateek is in a great position with the Car 98, should be able to have a tad bit of an advantage here, but the angle's just not working out for them. DRS wants to reposition. And thankfully, Buriram is actually not going in for the hunt. They're looking to reposition and find a safer haven for themselves instead.
Yeah, Buriram United always like to prioritize surviving super early as well. AGL Cypher does get one over on the other end. Got me a bit nervous for Buriram United when I saw some shots coming towards them. I think Loud was really hot at their heels right then. But Buriram United, if they do move forward there, they will be running up against DP. Loud on the other end, just putting in damage to the PDX and AGL players.
Again, shout out to the team in the back. The observers have been on fire. Thank you very much for making sure you guys catch all of the action out there, because it is hot on the lobby today. Like you said, we've got too many squads in this next circle, and that's exactly what Purgatory has been able to give us for quite a bit. Stroex and Rasya leading the eliminations, and Benel actually keeping up with them. With the damage out there, I mean, Benel, what a superstar. Super survivor, super rescuer, reviving the squad multiple times. Also one of the rushers of the squad, bringing in the numbers through eliminations for the LATAM squad. This is the best that we have seen out of them, and I feel like they're giving us the consistency that we usually look for. But Team Apex Gaming, great start. Can they continue against the champions of 2024? Falcons right in front of them, but Falcons are spread out. This is a big advantage for Team Apex Gaming.
Yeah, this is really great at just really finding its openings. And you can tell they're very hungry. They've been hot on the Falcons' tails for quite some time here. And even Shoto on fire right now. And the rest of TAG wants to collapse onto this fight. They've taken away the space, but we have a little bit more space to prepare.
They gotta be careful here. They don't have information. They're rushing straight in. Team Apex Gaming needs to slow down the pacing here, get that info, and then play their positions well, because the flank on the side of Falcons might just be exactly what gives them the victory over Team Apex Gaming. And as requested, Team Apex Gaming says hasta la vista, putting a little bit of a distance between themselves and Falcons. Pina, a sliver of health on him, but no finisher just yet. The Voco tagging them up, and India, they do give away their positions, but will win. Perfect Thompson play, knocking down on fire. Raja with the M590 looking for the revenge, but those glue walls played perfectly by India.
It kept him away. He wasn't able to follow. He cannot come in. And now the rest of TAG wants to go to this fight. Here Raja is alone. Hiding in the corner. On fire's back in the game already. Rushes forward. Raja
baby.
In the corner and taken down and out. Eliminated already here, but Falcons brings him back in quickly.
Yeah, boy, Shoto's on fire. And Team Apex Gaming right back in it. But they gotta make sure they finish what they started. Korora right out there. Pina with the support play. Wolvin knocked down already. And this is still trouble time. Team Apex Gaming, they've got the vending machine out here outside the circle. They need to clean up their act right here, right now. The eliminations are looking good, but Falcons are not gonna get taken down that easy. Shoto with the flank. What a headshot! Shoto's on fire! And Team Apex Gaming will survive!
I love Shoto, how aggressive, how confident he was in taking up that space, knowing how exactly to play with the information and position he has.
What a recovery! The revives are on point as well. And Team Apex Gaming on Purgatory. We talked about them having a little bit of extra room to breathe. And with that extra bit of oxygen in their system, they are on fire. And Falcons now on the revival spree, but with 1,300 in his pockets. Double revival, no problems at all. Falcons though on a little bit of a reset. Buriram close to their compound. But I don't think the World Jams will be looking to take the fight up against them. Falcons scanning out their area with the binoculars, a counter binocular used here, potentially by either EWOS or Buriram. As the players on the side of DP slowly makes their way in, AGAL looking for that backstab. Not intentionally, they gotta find one, but they're not gonna second guess their movements at all. They want to take DP out of the equation here before they take away their defensive spot as well.
I am curious to see how exactly the rotation is going to come in for TAG. They're so far away from everyone else, but this late rotation could potentially benefit them. Letting everyone take this fight early. Venel quick but Alu here as well. One knockdown. Top 16 also almost following suit here. And AGL knowing this, quick reposition forward, and DRS Takuri now knocked down.
Oh, Gun Dynasty coming across DRS. Wrong timing here for the Rail Soldiers. But Pratik and Stroex turning things around. And 590 takes down our swap. And this is AGL interfering. Perfect timing. And DRS in a little bit of a pickle. Stroex, can you get away? Even if you do, can you get enough coins to play recovery? All alone now for the side of the Rail Soldiers. And Gun Dynasty under the crosshairs of Team Loud. The recovery is going to be close to impossible here for Gun Dynasty. If they pull it off somehow without Benel, it is going to be a miraculous run for sure.
Just really waiting things out right now. Kiroro is here with Falcons. They have like a nice, I think, off angle to play with, but not even close to get into that circle. You have to take this fight against EVOS, which is going to be so annoying. Even Stroex, look how far back he has to move away from the area just to survive.
A little bit of a slower pace. And scanning out 4 players on the side of EVOS as well. Good Dinocular once again from the side of Falcons, but what can you do with that extra bit of information? You can't flank around too far off to the left and tank a lot of the damage, putting yourself out in the open. So Falcons are going to actually go in for a direct approach here. And clearly Abex, the M249X in hand, not worry at all about losing his bullets. He can spray, barely needing to pray. But Team Apex Gaming, I hope you've said your prayers already. You're coming close to one of the biggest dominators in the competition, who are not really on fire just yet. So maybe that's going to be the blessing here. Shoto, Superman for the side of Team Apex Gaming, looking for the shutdown. Wasana, looking for those nades as well. And for the time being, the ice grenades tagging them up. But Buriram not going anywhere. They want to take this fight, and they're waiting for Team Apex Gaming to break down those blue walls so they can have an advantage.
And meanwhile, over on this side here, EVOS
Katie God!
The Falcons out of that circle. Pina finds this angle, puts the damage onto Aimgot, reposition, but hard to do anything as EVOS collapses onto the members of the Falcons. On fire, barely alive. One member knocked down as well. Moving together as a team, the double swings are too much to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Falcons can get all the information they want off of the Dinoculars, but they were just in a rough spot positionally. Could not flank around to the left. EVOS would have sniped them out of the waters instantaneously. Had to take a straightforward fight because of the damage of the circle, and EVOS just had the better position. The Rail Soldiers, on the other hand, there's nowhere else to go. Gun Dynasty still alive and kicking with the 2 players. No revives possible for them, but they're now trying to play the placement points. Aim God looking for the reposition. Rastia tagged up already. Stroex single-handedly trying to take down as many players as possible from the side of EVOS, but the jig is up. The moment Gun Dynasty closes in on him, DRS might just be that extra point that Gun Dynasty needs.
Here comes Ray as well. Stroex taking a lot of damage already hanging in this corner. He's stuck here. Either you go down to the zone or you go out in the open and you crunch between 2 different teams. But he's not going to stop trying though. He spots Rasha, goes a bit too wide, and the rest of EVOS, they're just going to wait for him to come out in the open.
Yeah, he's got the mini launcher on his side. He can quickly reposition, but potential to be sniped out of the air is high here. Now the zone's going to catch up with him as well. He's probably not running the team boosters. And he's going to sustain a ton of damage off of that, but still playing it safe. One with Mother Nature, finding some cover right behind the tree. And this is so much the tree can do for you, buddy. The grenades are going to find the tags onto him, forcing him to use those medkits as well. One great wall, keeping the players of AJL and Buriram far away from each other. And the engagement between these 2 titans will not break out just yet.
AGL had taken a lot of, I think, players out here as well. Now EVOS just kind of just moving around the zone right now, trying to see whether I can get some pickoffs. Excuse me. Maybe they can just stay away from these guys. Yeah, fights here. BRU up against AGAL. The only thing separating them is just this wall. Cypher does take a bit of damage here, but if anything, eventually Dew will fall. It's going to be Apex with a great opening there.
Okay, a couple of grenades over the wall. Could be a big one, but Buriram calls for the bolt maker. Lightning zone now. It's going to be that pressure for both AGAL as well as EVOS Divine. Loud going to be hopping on into the battle as well, but Waka eliminated from the equation before he can even make a play. And a counter lightning zone called upon Buriram as well. Two teams with the bolt maker out there. He was Divine with a big
Bolt
brain
maker
play
free
off of
damage.
those monster trucks. Extra layer of defense here for them. You can blow it up, but you cannot touch them just yet.
Yeah, Nameless get knocked out here. Nasha goes for 2 even to the AGAL side. Right now, Buram United wants to go in and stealing away the kills. No, it's Russia that's able to secure every single elimination point. Now, the tension changes. Buram United has to fight against EVOS Divine, and they're gonna try and collapse forward.
A familiar situation here. Southeast Asia takes over Purgatory. And EVOS Divine up against Buriram United Esports. Can they go for a back-to-back booyah? Or will Buriram ruin the party here for EVOS? Either way, EVOS will still stay at the top of the leaderboard. Looking at their consistency so far. Valiant Dash breaking down their own defenses, but Wasana doesn't pull away too much from that. Moshi with the M82B gets the knock. Ray still standing up close and personal up against Jonah, who gets a hop up off of the blue wall and finds Aim God right behind it. And Buriram looking for the finisher up against EVOS.
Yeah, Wasana just rushing for here. Russia here all alone. The shots going a bit too hard, but Moshi going huge here. And there we go. Buriram United getting that booyah. Amazing work. Jonah movement God.
Never before the champion here at the Esports World Cup. Could this be the year for Buriram United Esports? We talked about how Russia was the super sniper on the side of EVOS. We saw the amazing plays from him, but we cannot forget the one and only Moshi, baby. I fell in love with the snipers because of this guy, and he is back. This is his meta. This is his time to shine once again, and he cleaned up the battlefield in the final sequence.
Honestly, every single one of these members for the teams, I think really stood out to me as well. But that final few picks coming from Moshi that's completely cleaned up and turned the tide for this team. Personally, for me, I saw the pressure coming in toward EVOS Divine, and I thought they have high capabilities of turning around the tides. But Buriram United, knowing this, did not give them that chance this time and completely decided to just completely collapse at the right timing.
Absolutely. 3-time world champs right there for a good reason. Mainly Jonah, who I think is the most decorated player on that stage as far as his career here in Free Fire Esports is concerned. And they are the ones who have everything on their side in terms of rotations, IQ plays, perhaps a couple of hiccups here and there, but nobody can take away the fact that they are definitely one of the favorites out here to cause a lot of trouble. But can they get all the way to the end? Because EWC hasn't really been very kind to the squad so far.
No, I completely agree with you. There are just so many times that I think the Southeast Asian talent that we always say Buriram United is going to be the one at the very top. They always start off very hot, I believe. But then after a while, you start to see them waver a little bit. I'm wondering how this year would change for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, towards the end, it was more of a hunting game. The players just looking for all those shots. And Moshi, as the sniper of the squad, is not holding back at all, right? Just taking the fight straight up to them. The M82B got a little bit of a bump recently on the OB update, and these guys are not doubting it at all in terms of usage. Now, we've got a few commercials to play. Tash and I will be right back with you after the panel catches up with you guys.
সবার কোচ এলো এখন কোচ দেখাই দিবে নেক্সট ম্যাপ নিয়ে পরের ম্যাপটা কি
Alright, hello everyone, it's Yuso and we are live in Paris here in EWC 26 Free Fire stage. And right next to me we have our two co-streamers who are so popular in Vietnam. Introduce to you Miguel and Cyrus. Xin chào tất cả mọi người, thì không biết là hiện tại là mình đang ngồi trên sân khấu tại Pháp thì mọi người đang cảm giác như thế nào vậy ạ?
Xin chào tất cả các bạn nha. Rất là hồi hộp các bạn ơi. Không khí ở đây gọi là tuyệt vời và chưa bao giờ mà thấy một cái sân khấu mà lớn như thế này các bạn ơi. Mình không biết là áp lực của các tuyển thủ sẽ như thế nào nữa.
Tao nói thì cảm thấy như thế nào ạ?
Dạ mình thấy là vui ạ.
Vui rồi hả?
Dạ.
Mình bay
কত করে চাই না তো জোর করে কত করে লিছে বলো এটা
trải nghiệm được nhiều rồi.
Trải nghiệm được nhiều. Alright, overall the stage is really hype, big. They have never seen any stage like this. Very special to them in this Free Fire scene. And overall, a very overwhelming feelings, happy when they're here in Paris to attend EWC 26 Free Fire. Okay, so I can see in the comment section thì không biết là từ nãy đến giờ mọi người theo dõi được 2 trận đấu rồi, thì không biết là cả bác gấu và cả sau đó cảm thấy là các bạn khán giả của mình comment như thế nào vậy? Mọi người có đang chờ đợi màn trình diễn của team secret của mình không ạ?
Wow, rất nhiều người ở Việt Nam và rất nhiều người khán giả hâm mộ của series EWC đang trông chờ màn ra mắt của EWC, và rất nhiều khán giả đang coi ở tất cả kênh sóng của Garena Free Việt Nam đang rất bất ngờ bởi vì cái phong thái thi đấu của cái đội tuyển ở Latam hay là ở cả Mexico hoặc là Ấn Độ. Họ đánh giá thấp Brazil, nhưng năm nay Brazil trở lại khá là mạnh mẽ.
Cảm ơn các cháu ạ. Thì sao sẽ cảm thấy như thế nào về trong 2 trận đấu vừa qua đi? Thì sao đánh giá như thế nào, bởi vì bảng A cũng sẽ là một các bảng rất là căng thẳng so với bảng B của chúng ta.
Thì theo em thấy thì sau 2 trận thi đấu thì em thấy cũng khá là khắc nghiệt. Nếu mà đội nào sẽ thi đấu mà xuống vòng độ sẽ đội đó sẽ bị loại.
So as we can see that of this coming tournament, here we have a lot of teams, Latam, India, and so many moves on more. And I'm very excited to see a huge circle of Free Fire all attending here to compete their best to get the champions at EWC 26. And overall, after 2 matches from Cyrus depends on him. Well, who got the weakness has go down, obviously. And of course, I can see that everyone is really hyped, especially for Team Secret, as known as WAG from Vietnam, are also here to attend EWC 26. We'll attend the match in the Group B after this Group A end. Well, this is the end, and I love the energy of everyone here. Everyone looks so happy and very hyped for the favorite team, and I do hope you guys are also like that. Please continue to support your team.
Boy, we had to make sure we got away from some of our other analysts because I know they were hyped. The border ram has finally showed up. They got that booyah, and this is what we were expecting out of the 3-time world champs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's champions against champions right now. One taking the global finals, one taking the EWC. So you would expect really fire gameplay out of that final game, out of the final match, final circle. AJL though, I mean, I think like we just looked away, and then the moment that we look back, they were out. So the final 2 teams, 4v4, is just phenomenal. But I'm also looking forward to how Loud is going to recover right now, because I think they were pushed down a little bit too hard this time. And Rim United, after getting that booyah, they just catapulted themselves up.
Do you think they're going to be, especially for Loud, right? Do you think this is the next game? It's time for them to bounce back because we're seeing consistency once again out of Evos.
Yeah, I mean, Evos being a top 3 in 2 games or 3 games already is enough. Like, if you want to be in there, just an easier ticket to stage 3, then that's what they need right now. Compared to their Southeast Asia, right? And they always go for the longer route, the longer days, like even not skipping a day because they're at the bottom going into elimination before the grand finals, before point rush. So I'm loving this version of Evo's Divine right now. Probably it's because of the crowd giving them more energy.
True, and this is the halfway point as well for Group A on day 1 of Free Fire at Esports World Cup 26. Now, out of all the squads, right, we're hyping up the squads that are doing good. Let's talk about some of the other squads that needed to improve on that 3rd game. And one of them that ended up improving, at least for my liking, had to be Tag. Boy, this squad was finally able to start putting up some eliminations on the board, and this is what we're expecting them. I know Lucifer in the back is expecting even more out of them.
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about that earlier before the game started, and then we saw them perform. So it's a good thing as well that it only took them a couple of games before for their warm-up, before they really bring it on, because being at the bottom 2 or almost the bottom 2, that's not a place that you want to be, even if you still have another day to play. So you don't want to risk it. At least bring yourself halfway to what is intended, and then that's when you play. If you don't like, that's when you gauge. If you really don't want to show that much performance, just go in there in the skirts of what is needed to get the next stage.
Yeah, and the good thing too, like going in regards to Evos, in regards to Burram United, now that are starting to get all these points, right? One thing that is going good for this squad, yeah, they're performing well, they're being consistent, but they're just sponging up all those points at the top. And don't forget, once we finish tomorrow from Group A, the top 4 will be going to Champion Rush Finals. And the last 2 will be going home, and in between they'll be going to survival. But that sponge of points there from the top is gonna just make everything even tighter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's difficult for them to really catch up. Like because of the huge lead that you have right there, it's making it like hard for the teams to really catch up, and it's also demeaning at some point. Like you will see your team at the bottom trying and struggling that much to bring in the numbers, and then you see the top wherein even if you still have one day, but everyone is competitive at this point. You want to get closer and closer to where you're intended to be, to skip one day and just watch everyone play.
Yeah, and from this map that we just saw, Purgatory, remember, this is one that you were looking to see some crazy stuff. I gotta ask you, were you happy with what we saw there out of Purgatory, or do you want to see more madness?
Well, definitely more madness, more chaos with a K. Because Purgatory, like, I'm not giving that most of the opportunity for a skewed flight path, the like ruining final circle, but at least the teams are treating it as if it's a skewed flight path. The early engagement that's happening, a lot of teams trying to go in and out for battle, and that's what makes it exciting, because they're just playing it with the spirit of the map itself.
Yeah, and now going to the last 3 games here of Group A, right? Earlier we were talking about tag. We wanted to see them being able to step up. I know we have a team from Pakistan as well that, I mean, we want them to step it up because they just have such a passionate fan base back at home. I want you to tell me a team that you're going to be looking at, especially this next 3 matches, to either continue to be consistent the way they have been, or that you might see some fluctuation on their performances.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Paradox Gaming. Currently, they're at the bottom of the leaderboard right now, but at some point, we've seen the aggression as well from their regional. So it's something that they can bring to the table a little bit early this time instead of waiting for the second day. And also, some of the consistency that we've seen from DRS Gaming, because the Real Soldiers Gaming is one of those that we didn't expect really show up the first time in EWC, first time in global in terms of a Free Fire competitive scene, and they're really doing well. I don't know if this is the full extent of their performance, or they're just still biding and waiting for the opportunity to bring the fire on.
I mean, they just got to put themselves in that position where they can actually just claw at that booyah like Burram United Esports was able to do on that last one. Wasana was one of the players that I know Conchita really wanted to see them being able to step up in their performance and actually perform for their squad. Is there any player or any 2 players that in the next 3 matches you're going to be keeping a close eye on because you want them to impact the game in a positive way for their team?
Yeah, one thing I'm really looking at, especially if Wasana is involved, you have Get High in there. Get High with a combination of Wasana would be really aggressive on their tip-top shape. And also Moshi in there, like staying in the back lines. Depending on the map though, if we go into a map wherein it's like favoring the snipers, we might see Moshi and Jonah pull away, try double sniper, or just get information in the early parts of the game, and then just leave the opportunity for Wasana as well as Get High to go for those elimination. And one signature that I keep seeing from Burram United is once they get that knock, they pull out the launch pad and jump straight into the battle.
We have a lot of viewers that might be watching Free Fire for their first time. If you are one of those viewers, please let us know on social media. Use the hashtag EWC. Use the hashtag EWC26. I want you to explain to the new viewers that are watching Free Fire for the first time about that launchpad, because I absolutely love it, as we're just being absolutely sidetracked here by a dancing... Is that a dancing bull or a dancing cow?
Dancing bull. And I love the energy.
Yes.
I really love the energy on the stage right now. And
is that Fluxo? I can't tell.
Yeah, it is.
It is, right? I'm like, I have glasses on and I can't tell if it's like... You guys playing like 3 3 more games, okay? Your group is gonna be coming up. Hopefully you guys brought the drums, you brought that Brazilian energy, because we've seen it so far with Loud, but I know once we go into Group B, we wanna see Fluxo bring it.
Oh yeah, I mean, great potential for the team right now. And a great revenge storyline coming from them, because from what we've said, from what we've seen as well, there's a lot of disappointing run, and it was caused by these couple of champions that we have in front of us right now. So I love to see. It's a good thing as well. It's a very different group, because they won't have to beat them on the get-go.
They're just waiting to see each other on the finals or survival, which honestly, if you're Evos, if you're Burim, it's not going to be looking like you're going to be going to survival. If they keep playing like this, consistency, you might as well just put it in their middle name, because these squads have been very consistent. But I think it's time we start the second half of Group A. Let's send it over to AJ, Tash Bunny.
Honestly, insane seeing what's going on ground. We have so many people here. We have mascots on the ground as well. And we're already halfway through the first group.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm very sure that the fans out there are excited to see their teams perform out here on the battles. But it is definitely a big question mark for some of the squads, right? You look at Paradox Gaming, you look at how they're doing out there so far. I feel like the gunfights in Purgatory was so much better, but they're still having their first day jitters full on. I want to see a little bit of an improvement as we head on into this game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, you have how much space to really just warm up that engine, get yourself into the groove of the game. But as we go into the day, yes, 2 days, but already for Group A, we're halfway through. 3 more maps to go before they go on a break for the rest of the day and then come back tomorrow. But then again, playing catch-up against these teams is not going to be easy.
Locally, for Paradox, this is one of their better maps. So this could just be exactly what turns their fate around here on day 1. You don't really want to be depending on day 2 to find that recovery back into the competition. And you sure as hell don't want to be at the bottom 2 spots, because that is straight up relegation tomorrow if that is where you're going to end the day on. But as we head on into game number 4, it's time for some Next Terra.
Next Terra is interesting. There's just so many different bits and bobs parts of this maps. Oh, how he's going to go. And on top of that as well, we are still seeing, I think, somewhat of a hot drop here. Looking here, we have PDX, I think, toward the Deca Square with another team. I'm not too sure. I can't really see who exactly is that. I believe it's DRS.
Russia leading the leaderboard right now with elimination. 16 points personally delivered by the Super Sniper, the Wonder Kid. Still the Wonder Kid. And I think nobody else is going to be taking away the title from him. No one else has shown the kind of determination, the kind of hunger, as well as the performance that Russia has shown us ever since he stepped onto a stage like this. But Loud, once again, looking to do exactly that as they play a little bit of Clash Squad up against Falcons.
There's a lot of things going on over there as well. You see On Fire repositioning himself a little bit more further forward, keeping his head down here, because there's a lot of pressure that they're putting onto him as well. His teammates aren't super close as well. So if anything, he's just buying a bit of time, but his teammates, I think, shouldn't be a problem to bring him back into the game if he does go down fairly early. But if anything, the best case scenario for Falcons, well, you steal away one more kill before you get knocked down here. But BCP is tracking him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's not a full-on Clash Squad battle, because Falcons, most of them out of this Rust Town area. The rotations are coming on through, and it looks like Loud wants that big flank to find the extra point off of the Falcon player. We'll catch up with them later on as Buriram spots out Demon's Pride, top 16, about to be tagged up. Jonah has got the M24 in hand, just no angles to work off of it just yet. Gun Dynasty, on the other hand, with a very early reset, at least pulling back one player back in here, and with a phenomenal flank. On Fire finally taken out of position there. AGAL, one player down on the ground. The battle between them and Gun Dynasty does not end well here for Gun Dynasty. The recovery definitely needed once again. And Benel is on the case.
Yeah, in this situation here, been so proactive with his early fights as well. Already 5 eliminations here. Saifa once more. Rahat is on the other end, waiting as TEC already in such a precarious position. But his teammates able to be brought back into the game. But Nejat goes down to PDX.
Team Apex Gaming. Extra point for them, baby. If they can pick this up. Thrill of Battle popped perfectly. And a timely thrill of battle leads to Wolven picking up that extra point. But here comes Demon's Pride. They want the fight. They take this jump straight to the vending machine. Instant revival, but Madara sacrifices himself for that pick. Jazzy comes in for the save, picking up his buddy. No extra revivals needed. TAG, Team Apex Gaming, didn't finish those players off just yet. Catch a quick replay here in the middle of a very important battle for Team Apex Gaming. But it looks like they'll call for a little bit of a truce for the time being.
Yeah, just now, I think a lot of things are going on in that situation. I think they got cornered, if you ask me. Now, as we look at the main fight that's currently going here, TAG is still chasing the heck out of GP. Have Jazzy already knocked down as well. And I have to say, TAG doing a great job just cornering their prey, making sure that they can't reposition.
Almost got a little bit messy there. Obviously, the recovery was going to be important, and that's exactly what Team Apex Gaming finds for themselves. Buriram, they saw players step into the compound of the Indian squad just moments ago. And as I say that, Wolven takes him right off the board. Get IXL is there though, and it looks like Buriram's taking a full-on fight up against the Indian squad. Team Apex Gaming might be in a little bit of a trouble here. Katie God brings Wolven right back in off screen, and Loud spawning out Gun Dynasty, who is looking for the recovery in this game. I don't know if or not they're ready for the battle. One player from the side of TEC is going to be stuck in this compound as well. It's going to get messy for them if they can't find the recovery for themselves.
UAV is out as well, should give away the position. Waka tried to get that, I think tried to just jump and see if he can get some info, but he got tagged. If anything in this situation here, Kutush might be in trouble next. And I have to say, Benel doing a great job of marking every single enemy around the area. Nothing gets away from this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. They play the Moko really well. And he had the M82B and the SKS as well. Great attention from that long range and the advantage taken. And Katie God keeping the Indian squad still in the game with the double revive. Buriram trickled in one after the other, finding Team Apex Gaming. But the Indian squad could not take these giants out. Three-time world champs for a good reason. Just ramping up very slowly here, not showing their aggressive side just yet, Buriram.
You can see how active the map is right now. Loud's getting a few pickoffs as well. I'm sure DRS as well, while everything has been going on here. In this situation, I think...
No, Katie God, just a wrong spot. Ran straight in at Buriram. No binoculars, no extra information out in the open. Just got spent. And now Falcons fighting the players of Gun Dynasty. Gun Dynasty's just had a rough run in this lobby this time round. Nextera's just not their place. Limit will find one from afar. David 444 found as well. The players of Gun Dynasty flanked all around, and it's the Falcons swooping on in. The birds of prey looking for a meal. And Gun Dynasty is just that fill.
Yeah, and Shairu is stuck outside the zone as well. What are you going to do here? You have to find a different way into the area. And Falcons wants, they desperately really want that one extra point. It almost feels like they just are playing with a vengeance. Now, in this situation here, GD looking good with 6 points already. Shairu still managing to stay alive. And right now, if you were to look at the leaderboard here, EPOS is looking really good right now. They have a huge lead compared to the rest of the teams. And in terms of, I would say, positioning right now, they're looking, I think, fairly alive. If anything, throughout the entirety of this day, EVOS has been doing well in terms of positioning, in terms of looking for pickups, in terms of looking for fights as well. And I don't think this is going to change anytime soon.
Of course, Nextera has always given us a lot of eliminations thanks to the number of vending machines, compounds that you can use for cover, not having to use up all of your glue walls too early in the matchup. And we're going to see quite a number of survivors again. As I say that, the Rail Soldiers pulling in a double revive. Yet again, extra coins. Takuri making sure he brings back the 2 revives first. So great strategy played by him before he got caught out there. Unfortunate that he could not go in for that final revive. So 2 players down for the side of DRS once again.
AGL is really scary. If you think you managed to shake them off, there's just really a false sense of security before finally being taken out. He's done his due diligence though. He buys things back into the game, and I think bringing them back into the game poses big threats to so many of these teams. Now, in this particular area, while Falcons was, you could see just now they were really looking for Jazzy. He's still very much alive, but they have to be very, very aware that Loud is close by somewhere in the wing. So this could potentially be a two-way fight. It's looking really good right now.
Rough run for Demon's Pride. The Pride definitely taking a hit here on day one. Still down at the very bottom of our leaderboard with just 10 points to their side. David 444 down on the ground. Instant pickup there, and the recovery is solid for Gun Dynasty. But they have been challenged all throughout this lobby. The only luck they have now is they're dealing with DRS, and they've got the numbers advantage in this battle as well.
DP, this is really DP. Trying to find this bounty as well as really settle it down as well as Alu tries to put a little bit of space away from GD. He's able to maybe isolate this fight by a bit of time, so Strikes will be able to give him a bit of, I would think, support. They'll be really good. Now the Falcons finally ran toe-to-toe against Loud. BZP forced to move away here as the Falcons finally rally back. They have a nice high ground to play with. Over on the other side here, gonna cook up that nade, throw it forward, but I'm gonna think it's gonna be going a little bit too wide as BZP is just so quick on that reposition.
Yeah, that was a blind nade there. No Moko for the advantage. Good time turner for BZP. Has got the double barrel, but the Valiant Dash is bursting through him. Extra bit of confidence off of the electrotherapy that Cassie provided them. Limit those straight down to the ground. Recovery is not going to be impossible here, but they're going up against one of the best Brazilian squads. Loud can shut them down, and that's exactly what Nyx does. M10-14 perfection on fire taken down. Karoro shut down as well. Loud making a lot of noise, but Pina's there for the save. But the pickups have to be the focus here. And Falcons surviving this one. Guaka too far away to back up the rest of his brothers, and Falcons will survive because of that.
I am loving the fact that Falcons really double down on this, and then Dedrick as well just stuck in the corner, trying his best to survive. But Buriram United, they're saying no. So as much as you want to survive, it's not going to happen. We will dig you out of that hole if we have to. Gets one more point to their name, and now they're going to go and find a different way into the area. This mid-side area in terms of rotations here, southern side, EVOS has controlled this area. Toward the western side, you have PDX is sort of moving around the area. Northern side, Aurora, but middle side here, you have, I think, GD and AGL forward, and TAG just busting forward, looking for this fight eagerly.
Just with that game 3, Buriram has jumped into the top 3 already. Now you see the Moko tagging up the players on the side of Team Apex Gaming. This is a little bit of a pitch. AGL focus fire. But Team Apex Gaming very smartly repositioning, just staying away from the crosshairs of both AGL as well as Gun Dynasty. A sticky situation here for the Indian squad for sure.
But they're not really showing their hand either. They're just really hoping to weather down that storm, because no team can really get too close to one another for this forward fight. Pina, somewhere along the lines there, does find Strikes eventually. Alu runs and they're almost taken down on fire, but regardless of that, would have been traded. So now the blue zone comes through here. Kiroro should be brought back into the game, as Loud is slowly trying to recalibrate themselves.
Recalibrate indeed. The double revive coming on through. Full squad once again for the Brazilian squad. Loud have been loud from the start. Very consistent to keep themselves in the top 4. But they have to make sure they play a little bit of recovery here. And Nyx is going to have his foot shot off. ABAX with a sharp shot from afar. AC80 perfection once again. And yet again, the Brazilian squad on the back foot. This is just not their lobby. Recovery seems to be really difficult. And that's exactly what Nextera is. Lots of spots to hide away at. And we have got a ton of squads. So many players still alive and kicking as we approach the 12 minutes.
Yeah, Alu is not going to be able to hit the ground there. Gonna just get knocked down so quickly. His teammate did try to give a bit of pressure there onto Buriram United. Not happening though. You know, like you mentioned, Moshi just so superb on the snipers.
Oh yeah. Buriram showing that, yes, we were ramping it up slow, but nothing impossible for us to catch up with. Russia, though, right below the bridge like a troll. Up against Falcons, but gonna get caught all alone here. On fire, making the rotation. Russia, can you survive this one? What kind of trickery will you show us? It's Gun Dynasty that takes advantage of that chaos! And the follow-up is solid. EVOS with the revenge. The players on the side of Paradox taking advantage of this situation as well. Enrique is going to get picked right back up. And Falcons off of that rotation put themselves under the bridge, losing 2 players in that sequence.
In this situation, EVOS as well, trying to take away this positioning coming in from Aurora, but cannot able to come close to them at all. And EVOS is very, very patient here, trying to find an opening, an angle, anything, but also aware that Loud is close by. One moment your head is out there in the open, it's going to be instantly popped, and that's how it is for both of these teams here. And it's sort of a momentary stalemate between these 3 teams. You have to worry about PDX as well. You also see that they're trying to rush away from the area as On Fire tries to put in the damage.
See if On Fire can get this catch up here, quickly repositioning right under the Robo. And it gives them a little bit of cover for the time being. The launch pad, I think they were looking for a little bit of a higher angle as DRS Gaming gets taken out of the equation. Locked down by the thrill of battle, and Falcons needs to quickly reposition. They do not want to get stuck in a fight without their active skills. Riptide Rhythm from afar, EVOS will play some shots, but it's Aurora that takes the advantage with that shot. The Malaysian squad slowly sneaking their way back in here. Locked down once again by the thrill of battle. Potentially out of the Brazilian squad this time round. Grenade, what a tight angle, played perfectly there. But Loud up against EVOS, that's going to be the appointment that they have to go through first before catching up with the Malaysians.
This is insane high-stakes fights as well. Just fighting for this real estate property. Saifa gets knocked down somewhere in the corner here as EVOS still saves their lives by just hunkering down in the corner and waiting out the initial onslaught. You can see Trap barely alive already, taking so much damage. Gets a top up here, trying to break into the building. And somewhere in the corner, Team Apex Gaming does already get eliminated here. Loud waiting patiently on the outer side here, like it or not, EVOS and Aurora are gonna have to vacate the premises. Now the glue wall's been, I think, destroyed. They're coming into the area. EVOS forced to move back as well.
A smart reposition here by Loud. They put a great distance between themselves and the chaos that they almost encountered between EVOS and Aurora. Now leaving the battle between the Malaysian and the Indonesian squad. And the shots from afar, AGL putting the pressure onto both Aurora and EVOS. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses. Azrael sneaky. But he saw the Riptide Rhythm and quickly stepped away from the window. Ray, on the other hand, not doing that. AGL getting a couple of tags in. Ingot, the Molko tagging him up already. And it looks like he will sneak away. Ray, on the other hand, will not get the pleasure of doing so. Axel's gonna get caught out. Riptide Rhythm again putting on so much of pressure, taking advantage of this tight little compound. And Aurora again will get snuffed out early.
You is doing great, just really catching people in the mid of the rotations as well. Now EVOS only Aim God is alive, gonna hunker down the corner as Loud is gonna work their magic onto GD. Aim God rushing through, but for the other side there's gonna be a massive Nyx and Trap doing a lot of magic, but GD pressuring them, and AGA also wants to join in on that fight. GD rushing forward, and now right in the nick of time, you have AGA find the last possible member from EVOS, not able to survive, so Aim God down and out.
Yeah, that's it for EVOS. AGL spotted them out and they were just tracking them all the way through. And now Gun Dynasty trying to take on the Brazilians, but the interference from the Thai squad. AGL long range away and almost no cover at all except their blue walls. This is going to be trouble if a Skylar is in the hands of either Gun Dynasty or Loud. And they'll quickly take some cover behind the boulder as well as these trees. Great rotation, great defense from the Thai squad.
AGL being very patient here, stuck behind a rock, but definitely not a high place yet. But now as GD wants to take away this real estate from Loud, cannot do so. Oh, damage is done. Nice damage onto Trap, but no more than that.
Beautifully played here by Latam. Understanding the angles perfectly. Trying to make use of the utilities instead of taking a straightforward fight up against Loud, who do have the positional advantage in that sequence. Shiru, though, caught in hand, looking for the flank, trying to play a little bit of pressure on AGAL to take AGL out of the equation here before they have to deal with Brazil. And AGL understands the little bit of a pinch that they are in, trying to close the distance down to take the positional advantage away from GD as the circle forces them closer in.
Shiro is just trying to really just come into the area, can go for this backstab. AGL does try to collapse forward, but the amount of pressure that Loud is putting on them is incredible. The glue wall is just immediately destroyed. GD cannot come close and come into the combat at all. Duel falls. David, good one onto him as well. And Shiro, his position finally seen, forced to move back here. David putting in that damage to AGL. A quick reposition forward, and they are going to collapse. AGL cannot move forward.
What a beautiful location, man. That's perfection out of Thailand, perfection out of AGAL. But now, how do you deal with this chaos? Gun Dynasty have been pushed outside. They are at a disadvantage at this point of time. But when the circle starts closing on in, it's going to be trouble. Where will the zone move? Who does it favor? And trap. What a nade. David taken out, but the time turner is active on their side. They didn't waste it earlier on, and that allows them to pick up their rusher instantly.
And it's really good.
One
you
more.
Cycling! Nice shot and a knockdown coming in from Cypher.
Great work
coming through here. Loud still has the upper hand advantage in terms of positioning. AGL, HP chunking down. The damage comes through, and Loud, all they have to do is just rush forward, and they're completely surrounded from every single angle. And Loud, once again, a booyah!
Second booyah of the day for Brazil. And they are not messing around. Got pushed out a tad bit. The performance at Purgatory, not the best. At Solara, it was decent. But this is going to get them right back in contention for the #1 spot for sure. AGL definitely going to be in the race for the top 3 here after a back-to-back performance. We saw them pick up a massive number of eliminations off of Purgatory, and they have gotten in towards that final circle here at Nextera with the exact same performance. Great play, I have to say, from both teams.
You know what's really impressive about AGL? The fact that in the beginning of the game, they're all around the map. We come to them finally after doing this initial fight. Suddenly like, what? They already have 6 eliminations? Silent but deadly, but definitely loud toward the end as well. It felt like a bait and switch because GD was the one that had a compound, I would say, advantage in the beginning.
Yeah, and this was where it all came crumbling down for AGL. They went in, they took the house as their defensive compound. What they were not expecting was the play out of Gun Dynasty. And the play out of Gun Dynasty wouldn't have been forced if it wasn't for Loud. Loud started tossing those grenades at them. Gun Dynasty had to make a decision, and the only decision they could make was take the fight up against AGAL. And they played that perfectly, rushing straight at them. And again, I've always mentioned how David 444 is one of the most lethal rushes out there. And he took the fight straight up against them with the Mag 7, demanding a lot of points in that house, and he got it for their side. But towards the end, it just wasn't enough. AGL stood their ground really well with the defense, but they had to lose 2 players in that sequence as well. And Loud, with the advantage, just walked away with it towards the end. It's not always about the most aggressive. Sometimes it's about who understands the final circle better.
Yeah, you have the eliminations. You have to find that I would say, balance, right? Between getting to that last few points with those placements, plus also getting those eliminations as well. And AGL Loud, Buram United have really good, I would say, grasp on being able to do all of this coming into the game. I think what's really fun to see as well is just the fact that for AGAL, they know how to do the bait and switch. They know how to go for zone control. But I have to say that for Loud, just now, they were just doubling down on that real estate. They know that they had the height advantage. They know that they can just really kind of keep out GD from their area and force GD and AGL to go for that fight. And all they have to do is just clean up house.
Yeah, and it's been very impressive to see this Brazilian squad so far, because yes, it wasn't a very aggressive Purgatory game, but if you look at their positioning placement in all 4 games so far has been phenomenal. We're going to take a quick short break now. When we come back, the final 2 games of the day.
তারা কি করছে কতক্ষণ যাবত খেলতেছে আমরাই বলো একজনে 3 ঘন্টা 4 ঘন্টা গেম খেলতে পারে যাও যাও খাইতে যাও বলছিল না কিছুদিন কয়েক মাস আগে মানে ফ্রি ফায়ার বাংলাদেশ থেকে ব্যান করে দিবে তারপর কোন কোন সিমে যেন খেলা যেত না, মোবাইলে নেট দিয়ে যাওয়া যেত না। হ্যাঁ, সিমে এমবি দিয়ে নর্মাল এমবি দিয়ে যাওয়া যায় না তো। গেমই ঢুকাই না নেট দিয়ে। তো ওরা এটা নিয়ে এরকম কেন করতেছে? এটা তো একটু প্রাইভেসি দেওয়া দরকার। কি? হ্যাঁ, সেটাই তো। রানদেন হবেও না।
Break out the drums because Brazil is showing up. 2 booyahs today for Loud, and my gosh, Neptune, this squad is consistent as heck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine 2 booyahs and 3 times on the top 3 out of 4 games. And this is just something that we don't expect to see, especially in day number 1, out of this kind of competition. Most of the time in this level of competition, there's a lot of stealing of those booyahs. There's a lot of stealing of those numbers as well in terms of elimination. So Loud is just doing quite well in positioning themselves and making sure that they are not out there being gunned down.
Yeah, and of course, Loud is so much better tactically when we compare to the other teams. They have the patience, they have the drive. Again, it's something so refreshing to see. But then again, it's a Brazil team. Are we even that surprised?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Brazil has been one of that contender that has been a pain when it comes to like a battle of Southeast Asia and Brazil and also other regions being introduced. And with the more regions in here being put in the mix, like they have that elements of surprise because the focus would be on the newcomers and they will be most of the target. And we were seeing that at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, we definitely were. I mean, I was going to be looking at the match standings right here. GD being able to put up some points as well. Out of all their squads, AG, how about that with those 27 points?
27 points, 18 elimination points, and I gotta hand it down to Do and Saifa. They're doing so well. This is exactly the teamwork that I actually wanted to see from EFOS Divine because it's an Indonesian, of course. I do hope that they can learn from the best. And honestly, I think that game, it really showcased the ability of Do and the capability that he has to lead the team towards victory.
Honestly, I thought AGAL was going to take the booyah in that last match. Their positioning in the bottom of building, I thought, oh, surely they have this. Surely they've got this. But no, of course, Loud's just sitting on top in the way that they were sort of they're able to accelerate and take more of positioning in the zone. It was exceptional. And I know, Neptune, you got something to say about that, don't you? Like, yeah, let's get loud.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more of what they can do in terms of the number. Again, getting a booyah will add up for your total points. But elimination is at some point at this stage of the competition is even more important because you have to bring that much to pull yourself to the top of the leaderboard. And booyah is something that is reserved for the team, especially with the champion rush condition towards the grand finals.
And I think looking at the overall standing, something that I'm really aware is that it is so scary for EFOS Divine in the very beginning of the competition. I mean, we started off really shaky, but looking at it now, we have 84 points and then 50 kills. That is not bad at all, even though we only have 1 booyah secured right now. I think what I said at the beginning of the show might come true. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to keep repeating it, but I do think there's a huge chance for EFOS Divine to maintain this position and actually be, I don't know, the next one to go to the next stage.
And the one thing that we were talking about earlier is that sponge between those teams towards the top. And it's starting to get even more and more. Once we see the overall, you get a chance to see exactly what I'm talking about in regards to those teams at the top, just making an even bigger gap to some of the other squads. Now, one thing I know has been sticking out besides the top squads, right? We got to go to PDX. I mean, I was talking about earlier in regards to Tag. That's a squad that needed to be able to step it up. They have since then, since we've mentioned And then I know you were looking at PDX, Lace.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at Paradox, and look, they're not sitting pretty on the top of the leaderboard, okay? You know, we're talking about the Louds and the AGLs. I feel like there's two games going on at the moment. We've got like the AGLs, the Louds, EVOS, you know, kind of having their own scuffles in the top of the leaderboard. And when you move further down, the tags, we got Paradox down there. I know Paradox had an accelerating run against Tag, but unfortunately fell like a little bit short in that match there. And it just seems like they're just not making the best decisions for their team. They managed to sort of get split. But when we were looking more into that final zone, Paradox, it was probably the first time I actually saw them group up and were able to put more eliminations on the board, and that's what we need to see from them. So I don't really know what's happening like in and amongst the early fights and stuff for them, but that was probably the best performance we have seen from them. But they are, you know, not being able to get those eliminations and those placement points on the board.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, the first few games, they're not that aggressive. And the signature of Paradox Gaming is that, like the signature of Paradox Gaming coming from their regionals is that aggressive team. Like from Africa, they managed to clutch it towards the end and getting that qualifier on the EWC, and it's more of the elimination. So this is one thing that we were expecting at get-go. There's a lot of teams who want to show up strong, especially if they are new to this contention. But for Paradox Gaming, they need that time to recover. But what I'm worried about is if that time is running out, because again, that's already 4 games and you only have 2 more for this group.
Yeah, and speaking of trying to come off as strong, courageous, again, I feel we...
Thanks, girl.
Then we gotta add gorgeous then, girl, because you are drop dead gorgeous. Okay, anyways, speaking of courage, of course, we have to also talk about Gun Dynasty again, because finishing at top 3, it's just so amazing. It's making me feel like I need to know more about this LATAM team. I mean, that is just crazy. They are now at the 5th position of the overall standing. 69 points, 23 plays, and then I'm seeing 46 kills. That is amazingly huge for them, Neptune.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, from the first and the last game, they managed to get 20 plus on elimination. It was a little bit slow though on that second game, and towards that third. I think it's because of the challenge they have on that game number 2 or the match number 2. Thus, they didn't get that much on the point. But I'm really looking forward to them to catapult themselves a little bit higher in this point right now, because they're very close against Garena United.
Yes, I'm about to say something that I might regret, but right now, I actually enjoy watching Gun Dynasty more than Buriram United Esports. I enjoy them so much. It's crazy. Like, I found a new love today.
What's making you enjoy it so much? Because remember, Buriram, even though you didn't get a chance to talk about them earlier, they did end up picking up that one booyah.
Yes, they did, but I think it's just about time for Gun Dynasty. I mean, you saw it on the 4th game. They were so amazing. And again, the courage that they have and the strength to back it up, it's just so amazing to see.
Yeah, I guess the difference between the gameplay of Gun Dynasty is in the beginning of the game, they show up. That's where more the hype is coming from. And compared to what we've seen in Garena United Esports, again, the signature is you're invisible in the first half, then into the second half, that's where you get all those eliminations. But at some point, they're surprised. I'm pretty sure they're counting how many opponents that they have in front of them towards the end. And with say 7 or 8 teams against you, you couldn't, or Garena United couldn't really bring that fire and catch up with the numbers. But it's a good thing that they did get that booyah.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at their squads that they need to wake up, especially when we're going to be going into the final 2 games of Group A. Keep in mind, for everybody watching at home, you're saying, wait, final 2 games? No, we still got 6 more from Group B coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But I mean, from some of the other squads that we're watching, we saw the Pakistan
couldn't really bring that fire and catch up with the numbers, but it's a good thing that they did get that booyah.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at their squads that they need to wake up, especially when we're going to be going into the final 2 games of Group A. Keep in mind, for everybody watching at home, you're saying, wait, final 2 games? No, we still got 6 more from Group B coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But I mean, from some of the other squads that we're watching, we saw the Pakistan team, right? They're towards the bottom. They need to do something because right now, the top 4 squads, the cutoff is at 70 points. And that's not going to stop. That's just going to keep going because of the consistency, Conchita, that we're currently seeing out of their squads. What can we see out of those bottom squads in the last 2 matches? Because they need to wake up.
Yes, they do need to wake up. Unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with the way the Pakistani teams played, but what I see from their performance today is that there's a gap of, capability that apparently they still have against the other team. And that is something that I hope they can catch up as soon as possible, because obviously being on the bottom 2 is not so ideal. Looking at it, it's still quite a climb that they need to do, but yeah, keeping my fingers crossed.
And then you have Aurora. Aurora is currently 40 points. I'm sorry I have to do it to you.
I won't mention their name anymore.
You can talk about them, but just don't mention their name.
Yeah.
From that squad, I mean, you were talking about having eliminations earlier on. They only have 19 eliminations so far. We've seen squads being able to get almost that in just 1 match.
I think what Aurora Game is finding right now is a balance because they failed in the first game. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it's my fault, but they failed in the first few games. But since they couldn't bring the elimination, they couldn't bring the fire, so they're going back to the basic. Go for survivability, trying to balance it out, elimination and placement point. And that's why they're trying something different. Just go and try to catch up, or go for catch up on the placement point. Once they get the groove of how to find the final circle, then they can get those elimination.
Yeah, what I've been noticing is that every time they go into an altercation or try to take a fight, they come out as the losing team. It's down to 1 player, then they're going to have to make that revive and try and do that. So I do believe that, if they can continue that survivability, because eliminations will come in the end, okay? As long as you can make your rotation, you get to that final zone, the elims will come. So hopefully we can see that sort of progress into the next games, because they slightly started doing it in that final match, but the first couple of matches, every time I saw Aurora fight, it was them out, and it's not working for them. So they definitely need to adapt and change, because they're gifted, but they're not making these decisions correctly.
Yeah, I so agree, because individually they're great players, but somehow when it comes to the teamwork, something just isn't working. There is something that they not to change. I mean, it's like someone needs to step up, I guess, and be the role model.
I might step out.
I'm sorry, man. I'm going to target you for this one. Yeah.
No need to do that. I mean, in regards to eliminations, one squad that has been stepping up is Team Apex Gaming. They have been able to put up those elims. At the beginning of the day, they were struggling a lot. Even Lucifer, one of our casters, is going to be coming for Group B. He was saying they're slow starters. He was actually expecting them to do better in the second day, but you can't be mad. Honestly, Neptune, you cannot be mad at the way that this squad has now been able to put up those eliminations.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more of elimination geared.
It's the complete opposite, right?
Complete opposite of what we're going for earlier. Like placement point, they like no regards. All they have to do is early on the get-go, they want to get all those eliminations in, and at some point for teams, they're treating it as a 50-50, like it's a double-edged sword. But for Team Apex Gaming, they want to bring down the sword against their opponent. Whether they lose, I think they can carry over those eliminations in the following round. The risk is they're losing the balance of finding the final circle. And again, there's still importance of that booyah, probably not this point of this stage, but if you're really catching up in numbers, you have to do well on both.
Yeah, because 29 elimination points is not bad at all. I mean, from what we see out of the 4th games that we have just watched, Apex really is trying to fix the mistake they have on the first game. And I think things are quite looking up for them right now.
You can see they got fans right now here in the arena live from Paris. This is Free Fire at EWC. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going into the last 2 matches of Group A. Can those bottom squads step it up like we've been wanting to see? Or is it just going to be too little, too late in these last 2 matches before we go into tomorrow? AJ, Tash Bunny, take it away.
Thank you very
gang
much,
money
Seven Man. It has been an
Germany.
exciting one here for sure. We expected Nextera to deliver, and Nextera did exactly that. 121 eliminations in that lobby. It was explosive end to end. But now we head on into Kalahari. We head on into the map where the snipers usually rule.
আমি কালাহারির কিছু বুঝি না সব এলোমেলো লাগে যদিও আমার কাছে সব মানে সব মেপে এলোমেলো বুঝতে হবে কেমন প্লেয়ার তাই না
We saw it coming in from Moshi, we saw it coming in from Rasha as well, some of the two hard hitters for this particular game. And now that this is actually our first Kalahari of the day, I'm wondering if it's going to be a slower start, or will the momentum of that fast, aggressive starts keep going all the way till the very end of this Group A day?
Demon's Pride currently at the very bottom of our leaderboard.
Green.
Not in the right spot. If you ask me, taking a fight up early at Refinery against Loud. AGL Cypher being cheeky as well to check out exactly what's going on at Refinery. So that shows a potential intention of AGL wanting to rotate in towards this high platform later on. DRS, Team Apex Gaming, Tech. This is going to be a tad bit crowded. Command post only usually has one team commanding it. This time you've got three vying for that spot.
You know, looking at the most damage and also most elims as well, right? You're seeing a majority of the players coming in for, I think, most eliminations. I think on top of Rasha, you also have both you and Cypher as well, which actually sets a precedent on how aggressive and how much, I think, AGL prioritizes this elimination.
Sajat is in a tricky position here. He does have the flank, but he cannot back up the rest of his team members just yet. Shoto! Gonna get caught out here by Blade. The caught up close and personal, plus the electrotherapy, giving Blade the extra advantage in that battle. Sajat's finally going to show up. And that's just the wrong timing. He drops a little bit of a present here for Tech as he quickly tries to back away. But a quick recap here as well for Demon's Pride. Up against Loud earlier on. The time turner actually saving BZP a little bit of extra time, but Jazzy only could get that knock off of that engagement, sending top 16 running away from the compound. Demon's Pride again starting off on the back foot here, but the recovery was solid through those revives.
TEC just now looks like they had the upper hand in that fight, and now DRS has decided to join in on this fight. And DRS has been scary today in terms of positioning, and even finds here is Wolfen that will be the first one to fall as the rest of TEC waits in the wings. Nejat as well will be picked off somewhere else. And now Buram United also here joining in that fight. It is hectic over here at Command Post as well, as Moshi finally finds a final nail in the coffin to a member of TEC.
Yeah, if Command Post wasn't already crowded, here comes Buriram jumping into the fray as well, looking to be the third party in the situation. DRS gonna shut down the remaining players on the side of TEC, one after the other, but Buriram, as mentioned, is still in here. Locked down by the thrill of battle now. Big advantage, but it looks like he's not gonna be able to walk away from much. Pratik knocked down once again. And the recovery is going to be slow here from the side of DRS as they continuously are pressured by Buriram Takuri. Jonah finds him with the VSK, and Strowex far away from the rest of the battle, but will Buriram be able to snuff him out? He's got the stealth bites, which is about to run out, and he gets away in the nick of time. Perhaps this is going to be the final survivor here on the side of DRS that brings them right back in, but he has to play this one slow because Loud is right in front of him.
And Barros as well. He's the one who goes down here somehow. Ben is just doing such a great job of being able to find him in the end. Top 16 will be found out finally by GD here. It's just such an unlucky situation as Shiro quickly brought back into the game in this situation. And I think that in so many of these fights as well, we see one team having the upper hand situation, and then suddenly the rest of the collapse coming in from so many teams. We start to see a systematic way for most of these teams trying to bring themselves back into the game. And Cypher, nasty shot coming in, and he's just gonna bleed out here.
Yeah, Benel is definitely one of the super flex players out there. He is the Swiss Army knife of the GD squad and Gun Dynasty. Just showing everyone that they're just not here to fill up a slot. They are here to rip away the championship. And if they keep this up, they sure as hell are going to be able to do that. First of all, getting into the grand finals is looking like it's going to be an easy journey for Gun Dynasty. But It looks like at
Smoking the
Bayfront we've got
Dokachwa,
a little bit more of a tense situation as two Southeast Asian squads take on each other in a battle. Falcons versus EVOS Divine.
EVOS Divine in this situation, you just gotta wait things out. You just gotta find a window of opportunity to bring your team back into the game. I'm not too sure if AimGod is being marked right now is the question. Because there hasn't really been too much of movement from the rest of the teams as well. Now, you look at TEC, they've come back into the game. It started off really well for them in the early fights, but then the collapse coming in. I think the possibility of third parties today have been incredible for so many teams. We see it happening from so many different angles. And for Falcons, they want to try and take this fight against TAG.
A crucial rotation here from AimGod, looking to bring the squad of EVOS back into play. If they get eliminated now, being overtaken by AGL and Loud is a no-brainer. The players on the side of Falcons, on the other hand, on their rotation, they spot out TAG, Team Apex Gaming in a little bit of a trouble. Riptide Rhythm's going to be breaking down the defenses. Islejohn can't drive away, Wolf is stuck. Time is on his side, and he needs to hope and pray that Falcons make a mistake here, but the valiant dash of Opina is just going to put him in a little bit of a pickle, and now it's all up to KD God. He's got coins to revive the squad twice around, but can he get to a vending machine in time?
Yeah, it's just really scary right now. You have no clue or idea where exactly anyone can be. And granted, this map is huge. Everyone has a bit of an area. The high grounds are looking good as well. There we go, EVOS back into the game as AimGod finds a way in here. As for the rest of the team, the reposition is going to be incredibly hard. Damage!
Down the low.
Oh my god, nasty shot coming in from multiple angles. The Swiss Army knife for the team. Not only is he sharp, but also is he diligent. Here and by, and he kills as well.
But now you monster. But now in a 1v1 up against Rahat. Can you get the hit? David and Vega down on the ground already. But Benel looking like he wants to shine on his own in this situation. Doesn't have much of a choice, but Barros shows up in his radar as well. And Benel making the right move here to disengage from that situation. Rahat can deal with Barros, the player from the side of AGAL. Gun Dynasty in a little bit of a pickle, and Benel once again dropping back to see if he can save the squad. But the pickups are going to be solid here from Shiru. With the stealth bites, Benel's going to get out of that sticky situation, keeping Gun Dynasty definitely in the driver's seat here for the day.
Oh yeah, KD got in trouble. Takes a bit of chip damage, but nothing more than that. The Falcons are hungry and they really want these kills. Forced to reposition, drops down to the ground, but Unfire is refilling that space that's been left behind. KD got a lot of damage taken from the util as well. He is barely alive. Forced to go in the open, and Unfire should fight him in the end. Knocks him down. The inhaler should keep him alive for some time. Sajak cannot do more than that. And the Falcons are looking to hunt down the last few players. Wolfen in this guy with the shots from Kirono are just nasty.
Wolfen, the escape plan failed, but he did manage to pull in a final second revive for Team Apex Gaming. That's going to be their insurance policy for the time. Falcons, on the other hand, they found that one to be a little bit too easy based on the position of the TAG players, but Shoto just shining right before he got taken down. KD God bringing Wolfen right back in. The recovery play is already in motion for Team Apex Gaming.
Falcons doing great in terms of reposition. How they collapse is just so scary to see, especially if you're caught out here alone here. Now, Falcons, nice position here, fairly safe away from the rest of the teams, but they have to rotate eventually as TEC, despite losing so many players early, they are also very slippery, still very much in the game. Knockdown, Raha does find Jonah in exchange, but Wasana wants to avenge his teammate.
And he'll be able to do that with that dash. Phenomenally done. Timed perfectly. Captain Jonas out of the equation, but Buriram have got the vending machine on their side. Get high once again as usual on the recovery plays. Moshi M82B looking for Nejad. Can he pull the final strike to take TEC out of the lobby early here? He focuses towards the right instead as AGAL shows up on the radar of Buriram. And that is the saving grace for TEC, who managed to pull in at least one revive to stay in play.
Kutush got knocked down somewhere in that process as well here. As the Falcons come through, I think there should be fairly clear to go into that until they hit Bayfront, because TAG is waiting there right now. And I have to say, TAG had so many close calls today. Shoto got knocked down, I think, twice already, but they're slippery.
Big advantage on the end rock here. No other teams aiming for it. Falcons get a 3B advantage. Rotating towards it, finding nobody there. So great in terms of decision making, as well as a little bit of luck on the side of the EWC 24 champs. And it's only Apex in their way as they will try to get into Bayfront in a little. Can the Indian squad punish the champions of EWC 24, or will they get punished instead? The battle between Buriram and AJL still continues, as both squads need to get into the next zone. And Jonah on the revive with the Car 98, punishing Barox, which means the front liner on the equation. A little bit of an extra advantage for the side of Buriram, and AJL does not want to stay and play. They use the launcher to get themselves out of that sticky situation far away from Buriram.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good tactical decision as well. You're taking up too much damage already. Buriram United was in a great position, just really overwhelmed them as well. And I think if anything, if AGL can find a good position, they are the type of team that if they are prepared for it, they can take these fights and just completely dominate so many different areas. Now Buriram United will follow suit here, coming into the safer zone as well. The southern side underneath the circle is looking scary. Loud is there, EVOS is there, TEC coming through, DP on the wings as well. And it's going to be really nasty. I love where Loud has put himself. Look at the sniper. Buriram United don't know.
The trigger discipline there, making sure he doesn't give away his position, which is a prime one. He wants to maintain the bird's eye view, stay out of trouble, and then strike when it's truly needed. But for how long are you going to stay undetected up there? Loud definitely has a big advantage for this next circle. And Southeast Asia battling each other to find the next circle for themselves. This time it's going to be Falcons versus AGAL. The shot is there. Aurora versus Gun Dynasty. Aurora, you cannot take this fight. Team Apex Gaming interfering as well. Car 98 perfect for Katie God. Azrael's sprayed down to the ground. Jun looking for the recovery here. Will be the distraction as he gets clipped down by the thrill of battle as well. Nothing much that Aurora can do in this situation up against EVOS as well as Gun Dynasty.
Azrael is barely alive right now, and I think the rest of the teams here know that, so they want to try and go in for this collapse. GD is close by as well. AIM got marking them, making sure they don't come close. Both teams are being so cautious of one another, but Loud decides to jump in here. Aurora might be crunched.
Close to 13 minutes, 11 squads still alive and kicking. Things are about to get very messy. Pandemonium about to break out here on the battlefield if we don't stop down these numbers. Loud with a phenomenal rotation has been able to keep themselves safe for the time being. With blue walls pulled out timely manner, not having to waste a lot of those med kits on unnecessary recoveries. EVOS, Loud, Aurora in a tight little spot, but they've got the advantage for the next circle. They can keep an eye on the rest of the competition.
Yeah, he even has an idea that someone is coming through as well, gonna try and break it. As the rest of the teams here, Loud at the bottom side, Aurora on the top side. If Aurora were to jump out, they're gonna fall straight into Loud's arms as well. A lot of damage coming in from Ray, a lot of, I think a lot of pressure coming in from GD. So no one is really in the green. If anything, anyone is out here for grabs. It's an FFA area, free for all. For the first person that pops out their head, and everyone very cautious. And over to our Bayfront as well, the same thing's happening, because TAG, you have Falcons coming through, watching straight for to attack, and AGL, you know them, you see them fighting, they're gonna try and third party you.
Yeah, but still gatekept by Team Apex Gaming, and he's just trying to avoid the engagement with the Indian squad as much as possible. But will India take advantage of the situation? If they want to battle, they have to take it now. But as I say that, Falcons dropping on in. Team Apex Gaming holding their fort strong here. Pina trying to break down the defenses, finds an opening, and with the Punisher takes down Shoto. A deadly shot, but the follow-up is slow. Team Apex Gaming again, barricading all of those windows, trying to keep Pina out of their way. And it looks like the players of Gun Dynasty will spot out this battle between the two, trying to play third party from that high ground.
Yeah, and it's just really annoying to be dealing with all of this as well. Katie got this with damage. Even Pina out in the open front. Limit does find one. Wolvin eliminated as well.
Oh.
Forced out in the open. What can you do? You stay inside. You eat damage from the util. And now for GD, all they have to do is just pick them off one by one in the middle of those rotations.
Gun Dynasty, the biggest winner in that equation. Team
কি
Apex
একাই বেঁচে
Gaming,
আছে
they survive
হ্যাঁ
the ambush
দেখছো
by Falcons.
তাও তো
Not
5টা কিল
somehow,
করছে
that's
আই
how.
হাই
Beautiful play of a
12
Gun Dynasty.
11 10 নম্বরে
And Gun Dynasty doesn't care exactly who's in front of them. They just
Top
want these points.
10.
And yet again, Gun Dynasty taking the fight up against Team Apex Gaming. But this time, they do not manage to defend themselves. LATAM just too strong. And Gun Dynasty from being the third party to the Predators in that equation. And Team Apex Gaming had nothing left in the gas tank.
Such good timing and such insane awareness. Now AGL, because they're on the lower side here, they have to wait through for this first fight to happen. And finally, the stalemate is broken. DP9 in the open out and just fighting. PDX as well in the same situation. Top 16, taken one already.
This is not a equal battle. Paradox can be outgunned here by Gun Dynasty. The only difference maker is going to be the ambush by AGAL. They take the timing right. But now, super low. It's the lightning zone that gives them the extra bit of advantage as well. And EVOS has showed up out of nowhere. And Gun Dynasty, like the third party equation that they pulled off, they get shut down. Aurora makes their way out of the lobby a little bit too early once again. Gun Dynasty looking for the recovery. But Nell and David, no vending machines around them. And the shutdown by Cypher off of that Mag 7 is perfect. Gun Dynasty loses yet another. And Paradox still alive and kicking through all of that.
And it is hectic here as well as Burma United completely want to crunch down loud, and they do just that. Moshi knocked down already. Wasana coming close, keeping the team fairly alive and healthy. Here's PDX coming close, trying to take a little bit more space, but the high ground Burma United has gives so much vantage.
This is the most eliminations we've seen out of Buriram so far, and AGAL is on fire as usual. The most they picked up was 18 eliminations at Nextera, and they want to break their own record here on day one's run. What a phenomenal day AGL is having for themselves, and two Thai squads in this final circle up against Gun Dynasty that stands no chance because of their numbers.
GD only one player alive, not for long, but now will go down next year. And AGL on fire crushes through here, kept away by those blue walls. Moshi almost getting clipped, finally does, goes down to Baros, and he's not done quite yet. Cypher finding great angles and positions here, and Tuna puts the damage from far away. It's hectic. Wasana jumping, trying to fire away, to find a way against Cypher, but cannot do more than that.
The record for eliminations is 18, set by AG Global, but no booyah for them on that match. Buriram on the other hand, looking to set the record for the day, and now it's a 1v1. The support up against the sniper, and the support player is stealthy on the front lines, and deadly with the Mag 7. Buriram late to the party, but biggest on the numbers as they break the record set by AGAL.
Record-breaking and second booyah of the day. This team feels unstoppable. There's just so many things happening right now, but they're so, I would say, aware on how the positions are going to go, how the movement is going to be, and somehow they managed to find that last crucial kill at the very, very last possible timing.
It was Buriram that set the record for the highest points at Purgatory. 15 eliminations plus the booyah. But they got matched up with that. Problem was at Nextera, AGAL just could not walk away with the booyah. It was Loud that ruined their plans, walking away with the second booyah of the day for Brazil, and kept them from breaking the record of Buriram, and Buriram showing exactly why they are three-time world champs. Phenomenal play. Let's check out these replays as well, as Buriram pulled off that final battle sequence.
Honestly, I think that what's really exciting about this particular match was not just about Buriram United, but I think it's just more of like how they decided to just really double down in fights. Usually it's a bit more quiet by them early, right? But this time around, you could feel like they're just starting to just get into the groove. They're starting to really feel themselves in this fight. Positioning-wise was also really good as well. They had so much control of that high ground.
I mean, the comms obviously just cool, calm, collected, not panicking in that situation at all. And get high XL, man. This guy is one of the most lethal supports out there on the battlefield, hands down. And when you've got a support player who can annihilate the squads, you really don't need to worry in a situation like that. A good reason why Buriram sets the record is because they are no strangers to it.
Yeah, I think it's also really exciting to think about how, Buriram United approaches this game. Sometimes they're going a little bit more slow. They have a lot of pages in their playbook as well coming into this game. But I am really surprised at how, I would say, aggressive so many of these teams are starting from that get-go. I think everyone's starting to get really confident coming to the game. Even TEC, I would say, had a little bit more spark in them compared to the beginning of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a great day for TEC. Managing to play a little bit of recovery on Kalahari was crucial for them. But, it's just going to be enough to get them out of the danger zone. Not permanently just yet, because they've spent too much of time down in the bottom two. Now, we have got a little bit of a breather here for the casting desk. We are going to throw you guys onto a tad bit of a break. We'll catch up with you guys in a bit for Game 6 later, the final one for Group A.
What's up, everyone? Carol Bombshell here. I know you guys are having so much fun watching Free Fire, but there is a lot more going on here at EWC 2026 in Paris. So come with me, let's check this out. Let's go. Have you introduced your outfit for today? No problem. There is a lot of options here at the official store. T-shirts, hoodies, socks, teddy bears, even hats. Oh, you want to customize with your own baby? Yes, there is a bunch of options here. What about your team is not doing so well? No problem. There's another options here, another teams that you can cheer for. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. We gotta cut this right now because I'm gonna customize my own t-shirt. Bye. Lots of fun activations here, like in Lenovo Stand. You can play games and also you can do some different things. Look at this. Maybe I wanna try. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was trying to help you. Oh. Maybe I should get in the line because we got a full house. You better don't take too long to come. Wow, we are in the middle of it all, the heart of EWC. We got a great atmosphere here with fans at stage 1, stage 2, the most important stage for you. Stage 3, stage 4. Oh my gosh. Oh, did you notice Team Vitality? It's your favorite team, so come and drink a coffee with them. Are you missing Kidia City? No problem. We got Kidia City right here with a lot of fun activations, interactions for you to have fun the whole day. And you know what? If you are in the area, you got to be mad to not to come here. So I'm waiting for you. See you soon.
And what an insane last match that was. I feel like that was probably the most chaotic end zone that we have had in these games today. I don't understand really what went on in these first original matches to then pop out with this. It's like all the teams switched on. Did any stand out to you?
Lays, what we just saw is actually a classic battle between Buriram United Esports and of course AGAL. We are practically seeing history repeat itself again and again and again. And it was so amazing.